Deployments can be fun. Honestly, you go see the world, it's pretty amazing stuff. And when you are deployed, it's like you're at work every single day. But that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Not every day you're going to be doing work. Sure, you might have a job where you're going to have to stand watch every day, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be busy all day other than just your watch. So there's a few things that I personally like packing out with me whenever I go on deployment, or if I'm going TAD away from my family, I'm going to be living in a hotel room, or I get assigned to a schoolhouse. Hi, Asking RDC here, and these are the things that I can't live without. Just so you know, none of this is sponsored. None of this is going to talk about what comes in your normal CBAG kit. And these are just things that I like, so leave down in the comment below if there's anything that you prefer to add that you should share with others. Let's get started. So let's start off with the basics, things that most of us probably already have, or something that you planned on getting, or it's easy to get to, and that would be your electronic form of entertainment. So it could be something simple. Nintendo Switches, they're really cheap, especially the light version is only $200, and you can always just pick it up somewhere else offhand, and it'll be even cheaper. There's a bunch of games you can either download, or games that you can just plug in. I don't have to explain to you Nintendo Switches, but it's great because they have good battery life. They use USB-C, so there's most likely already a charger around that you could use. And with the fact that it uses SD cards, you can interswap it with any other of your devices that uses SD cards. But if you look into something more simpler, an emulator. Now I got this little guy off of Amazon with preloaded games. I can't tell you to get stuff with that's already preloaded, but I'm gonna say I already own these games, right? But it's nice. It's the same thing. It's preloaded games. It's small. It's something I can pop out real quick and utilize maybe 20 minutes before I go to bed just to calm down, or if I have a little bit extra time during lunch to play some games, turn it off, put it away. Some of these come in little carrying cases, and it just makes it way easier for you. And then obviously, if you want to bump up a little bit more, get a Steam Deck. Now this thing for me has been amazing. Same thing, it uses an SD card, so I can just swap it over with my Nintendo Switch if I wanted to, or even my emulator if I wanted to, if it shared the same information. But the idea is they're interchangeable. They all use USB-C to charge, so if I have one USB-C cord, I'm good to go. Now, obviously some people are going to have gaming laptops, and I had a gaming laptop whenever I was going and getting deployed. But some of these gaming laptops are kind of bulky, and outside of gaming, they don't really do other tasks very well. You could say, yeah, they do a lot of tasks very well, but with the poor battery life that most gaming laptops have, it's not that great. So for me personally, obviously this doesn't have a better gaming battery life, but instead of utilizing this for only video games and having a tablet or a dedicated computer, instead of having one that does it all, it's a little bit easier. Plus, with this being small, I pretty much just pack it up every time I'm done and I just put it away. So the fact that it comes with its own case. Same with all these electronics. It's really the best way to go. If you already have a gaming laptop and you like gaming that much, go ahead. But these Steam Decks are great. They obviously display most of the games that I play. So if you're trying to play something and graphics matter to you, but it's good, then sure, go ahead if you already have a gaming laptop. But having this, and then just having a dedicated something else for this is great for all my other media. Which brings up to my next topic. I highly recommend you get some sort of a tablet, whether it be Apple or Android. Me, I'm just more in the Apple family, but Apple or Android, doesn't matter. Having a tablet, me personally, I have that with my Steam Deck or one of my other devices instead of a gaming laptop, is so much nicer because tablets' battery life lasts so much longer. And what are you going to be doing on a laptop anyway? If you're not gaming, if you're not watching videos, what's the other thing? You want to do work? Well, for me, I got this little magic keyboard. Now I got my laptop. Obviously, it can't do everything a laptop does, but it does everything I need to do. And in general, you probably want some sort of a tablet because people are going to share around hard drives. People are going to have these hard drives of all these shows and movies and everything like that that people like to pass around. And it's really helpful. It's nice to have that either on your phone or on your tablet or laptop. But I like a tablet personally, even the smaller tablets. I do drawing, so that's why I have a larger one. But if you have a smaller one too, like the iPad mini or a lot of those Samsung Notes, it's really beneficial to have, so you kind of like sit in your corner or sit in your rack and just watch an episode of something or put a movie on as you go to sleep. It really helps. And the best way you can do that, as well as when sharing information, is also having some sort of hard drive. Now personally, I have this. It's just a little USB thumbstick, but it also has USB-C and USB-A on it. So I can plug this into someone's computer, transfer stuff over, flop it over to USB-C, and if you have iPhone 15 or an Android device or iPad that's newer, then this will work also where you transfer over with files. works just fine. I use it all the time with my computer while I'm editing, so it transfers from my Mac to my PC without a problem. They translate no problem. You just drop it over with files. Of course, if you want to use a larger hard drive, that's fine. Honestly, I don't really need that much, especially with some of these ships will have hard drives attached, or they'll have TVDTS or Site TV, which means that they're just Site TV just has like, there's hard drives on the ship, and then they have a channel that you can go to wherever there's a TV. You can turn to it and they're playing movies. You can movie request, they let you know the daily movie rotation. But this is for your own form of entertainment. Honestly, I think this is great. When having some sort of tablet is usually, it'll get you very far. The next part of being able to utilize that entertainment in a private fashion would just be getting headphones. Now, I recommend getting both Bluetooth headphones and wired headphones. They go a long way for two reasons. One, if you forgot to charge your Bluetooth headphones, you have the wired ones ready to go. And two, sometimes you go in areas where they don't let you utilize Bluetooth. They tell you have to secure Bluetooth at all times. That's all about OPSEC and whenever you're trying to be like sneaky and stuff like that, right? So they don't let you use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth electronic devices outside of your rack. So one thing you can do is make sure you have a wired pair. Now, if you really don't care about the audio, then just buy a $10 pair that plug into whatever your music player or your video game system, whatever it is that you're running. But if you care a little bit, I have these Truthier X Critical ones, the zeros. They're only $50 and they're IEMs and they sound amazing. I really love them. The bass is just right and the sound quality is really good for, you know, just $50 headphones. You'd just be blown away. But if you don't care, then go buy those $5 JBL ones. It's not a big deal. I'm not sponsored by them. It's just a really huge recommendation. They're comfortable in my ear. They don't fall out. I had to use them a couple times while working out because we couldn't use Bluetooth. So I had those, and the fact that they wrap around the ear and they stay in, sound really good. I love them personally. But if you really don't care, then, you know, just buy some $5 ones just so you have that opportunity. But it's really good because you can't always rely on Bluetooth, or remote battery in a sense. You're gonna have to charge them, and if you forget, you have the wired ones ready to go. Me personally, I also had like a cheap pair with my Steam Deck so that they just stayed with them, so I could have them plugged in there, and I just didn't care if they got messed up or I lost them. But then the nicer pair I would keep in my rack, and I would utilize them when I was going to sleep, so I didn't worry about killing my battery on my wireless earbuds. But with all those electronics, you're gonna need to keep them charged or keep them powered up. That's why, obviously, outside of cables, I really suggest that you get a GAN charger. This has two USB-Cs and one USB-A. You can get them in different types. But what's great about this is it's a 65 watt charger, so it speed charges everything I have. It can charge laptops that use USB-C charging. It charges my tablet, it charges my Steam Deck, it charges my phone, it charges everything. On top of that, also getting a power brick, but more on that in a second. The most important part about these is make sure you get the ones where if you pop these out, it comes with all the little adapters so you can do it universally. But there's also one thing as well you can get that usually is a universal adapter as well. I have one of these. I got it for like $5 at a store in Greece. But it's just an adapter that pulls apart and then you put it back together in Lego pieces so that it can go plug into any outlet around the world, and you can plug into it whatever outlet you have so you can keep your stuff charged. But and in case that you're not able to get it to an outlet, I still recommend having a battery back with you. So battery backup, this one's about 10,000 milliamps, which is great. It works great for me. It charges everything I need to charge a couple of times over. It's quite large, but it's small enough you could either fit in one of your pockets of your backpack if you're going out in Liberty when you're in a foreign port, or you can have it in your rack. Having this in your rack, so there's outlets and racks, and some of them are way bougier. Whoever has these L-shaped racks, I will find you and I will join your ship because that looks amazing. But and otherwise, it's a coffin rack. It's really small, and sometimes if you're big like me, and when you plug something into the outlet as you're laying down, if you turn over, your shoulder's gonna hit that. So it's really annoying at night, and maybe you don't have time or a place where you can charge your stuff during the day. But having these and just charging these, or hiding them out somewhere, having it in your rack so you can just recharge your watch or recharge your phone overnight is really good. Usually underway, you're gonna have your phone in airplane mode, so the battery doesn't really actually get drained that fast. At least for me, I have a 14 Pro Plus, whatever the big 14 is, and it lasts me usually about 5 days, even though I use it for my media, such as listening to music or watching an episode of something before going to bed. It usually lasts me a while, but just being able to have this either at night in your rack or when you're out in town on Liberty is amazing, because you never know, like instead of trying to hunt down an outlet, especially with a 10,000 milliamp one, you can charge everyone's phone 3 times over together, pass it around. It's really great. And if you forget, this brand, most of them have it like this. They have the wireless charging on top of it, so even if you forget a cable, you can just at least put your phone on it. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as plugging it in directly, but it still gets the job done, and it's really good. Now, all this stuff I have fits in this one backpack, and this isn't exactly the backpack I go out in town with whenever I'm on Liberty, especially when I don't go overnight. If I'm going overnight, I'm going to take this because it's a little bit of a larger backpack. I would say actually like a medium size, but everything fits in here, no problem. I don't take everything with me, but I will take my tablet with me, and I will take probably my Steam Deck if I need to update it. But other than that, if I'm going out in town, I usually don't bring much with me, which is why I also bring having a second backpack that's a lot smaller and lighter is really useful for when you're going out in town, because you want to be lugging around this big backpack everywhere you go. You always see new sailors that love getting like those 5'11" backpacks. Oh, hold on, I got one. All right, I found it. So these big guys, everyone's seen them. Either they're this color or they're black. But this thing is huge, and it's a really great backpack, but I don't want to be going out in town with this all the time, especially if you're just going to explore. And you don't need that much with you. You're not going out overnight. Or if you are going out overnight, take your normal backpack and take one of these small ones. You can always just roll them up real small and put them in the backpack so that you don't have to unpack your entire bag just to go out in town. Take the little one with you and you're good to go. Makes it a whole lot light and faster. Plus, for me personally, whenever I am using this backpack, I like to keep all my electronics in here. I will, everything that I just showed you before goes in here, and I keep it in one of my spaces. So that way, anytime I just go to that space, I just pull out what I need, I put it back. I don't have to keep going down to my rack and opening and closing my rack all the time. This is one of my little, like, this is my stuff bag. Keep it in a locked space, and that way I can go access it whenever I want to sit down for 30 minutes or an hour of free time to, just relax, get stuff done. Now, one small bonus item that usually people don't think about is watches. Now, I'm a huge watch guy. I used to daily drive an Apple Watch, but I got really annoyed the fact that I had to charge it daily, and that really got annoying, especially on a ship. And now I have a Garmin watch. Garmin smartwatch does everything I like for it, and it charges, well, once every 10 days. So it's really nice. It keeps track of all my workouts and my sleep and whatever, it tracks everything. But on some ships, they won't let you wear smartwatches in certain spaces when you're in certain places of the world. So you have to take it off all the time or put it away. Which is why I recommend just getting just a basic G-Shock or a basic watch, a Casio. It could be $10. It can be, this one was a little more expensive. I think it was $80. I had one that was $40 for 6 years until it finally died because the band broke, and I upgraded, got an $80 one. But they're good because then you don't have to worry about damaging them. The ship is covered in metal. It's a lot of tight spaces, pipes sticking out. You don't want to damage your nicer watch, so you just get a little cheap one. That way you can keep track of the time, going to the gym, keep track of your workouts. Whole lot easier. Unless you don't mind taking on off your watch, I do recommend getting one of these. For 2 reasons, I recommend getting a cheap watch as well, just to kind of daily drive when you're on deployment. One, you don't have to worry about it getting stolen. No one's going to steal a cheap watch, and if it does, you lost $10. Sadly, stuff like that does happen. I just say lock your stuff up. Locks keep honest people honest. But second is, as a radar technician, I can tell you if you have a basic watch and it resets on you randomly while you're outside, you're getting radiated by a radar. So it's a good little safety feature. As a radar technician, underway, I always have one of these. Speaking of small accessories that really make or break your time on board or time during deployment, I highly recommend getting comfortable shoes. Now, you have shower shoes. I recommend, if you already have basic ones, those are fine, but I like having a little bit nicer ones. Just, I don't know, it's my time in the shower. I like to be comfortable while I'm in there. And having a good pair of workout shoes. Now, if you have the space, because on top of your boots, you're gonna have to store these somewhere. So these can go in a little cubby that's in your, what are those things called again? Racks. Yeah, of course, I'm in the Navy. But these are probably gonna have to go either on top of your locker or they're gonna have to go inside your locker. So if you have space for another pair, I would say a pair for the gym and a pair for going out in town. Make sure they're comfortable though. Comfortable footwear goes a long way. You don't, because you'd be surprised how much you walk. You'll be like, yeah, I'll just buy a taxi, but taxis get expensive, and you're still gonna walk somewhere at one point. You're just gonna be walking around. Comfortable footwear goes a very long way. I know a lot of people back me up on this. So if you're gonna have walking footwear when you're going out in town, don't get that $20 stuff, man. I'm telling you. Get some nice pairs just for walking, and you'll be surprised about foot fatigue and your lower back. I know I'm old, but I'm just saying even younger, you'll know. It's all about that comfort. Speaking about working out, I know this sounds obvious to a lot of people, but you're gonna need workout gear. Now, it's always good to have some form of a water bottle. That's kind of loud. some form of a water bottle or a shaker bottle, of course, right? I recommend getting either just a separate shaker bottle and a separate water bottle, because the ship's water is purified with a lot of bromine. So that can dry out your skin and everything like that. So make sure with some good moisturizer, but you're gonna want a dedicated water bottle. The reason being is if you only have one of these and you use it every day, it's gonna break. So either get 2 of these or 1 of these and like a larger size water bottle. And then when it comes to protein, I really recommend, if you have the ability to with your brand of whatever protein you use, to get the large ones, the ones that are like 70 servings. I think this one is, yeah, this one's 71 servings. Don't get those 15, 20 serving ones, because you don't know how long you're going to be underway. And sometimes you miss a meal, not on purpose, or just it happens. So if you want a healthy way, just, you know, double scoop of protein and there's your meal replacement, really. But you'd be surprised about how quickly you can actually run out of those things. And yes, there's a ship store. The ship store for shower shoes. Sometimes they have them if they have them in your size. I'm a large person, so they never really have them in my size. Or they have protein powder, but that protein powder is like some weird off-brand. It doesn't taste good, and it's got a bunch of sugar. I'm more of a sugar-free guy myself, so I try to get the one that has very low sugar, low carbs, and it's really not that good. Or it'll be sold out of those things, or the ship store will be closed that day, and it'll be closed for like 4 days for end of month inventory, but they do it like on the 20th for 7 days. It's ridiculous sometimes. Doesn't matter what ship you go to, they all do it. It takes like 5 days to do it for some reason, and you know, there's nothing you can do about it. Now you're just out of luck because you don't have protein powder or you don't have a water bottle. With that being said, some basic necessities can also be bought at the ship store, but it might be closed, which is why I also talk about this. If it's worth buying 1 of, it's worth buying 2 of. I always buy 2 of everything I need, because you just never know when you run out of that one thing and then the ship store's closed or in the middle of the ocean, and there's nothing you can do about it, or it's out of that stock. Always buy 2 bottles of shampoo, 2 bottles of body wash, 2 things of deodorant, whatever you use for your normal hygiene. Get 2 of, 2 toothbrushes, 2 things of toothpaste. And when one runs out, make a note to go get a new one whenever you can, because I can't tell you how many times that this has saved me, where I wasn't tracking how low I was on deodorant and I had a second one. And then the first time I didn't do this, it was horrible because I had to do some sort of drug deal to get another one, you know? What are some of the things that you, if you're watching this video and you've been on deployments, you're in the military, specifically, this is for me in the Navy, things that I would like to keep with me on a ship. What are some things that you would keep with you that aren't sea bag issued when it comes to going out at sea? These are the things I bring. I can't honestly live without, or if I did, it'd just be a really terrible time. It makes my time away from my family underway a whole lot better. And the best part is this all fits in that one backpack. And so I still live out of my sea bag and my backpack whenever I go underway, or whenever I get sent TEMAD to a ship across the ocean just to go on deployment with them and come back. So leave in the comment section below whatever you would add to that list. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hooyah Navy.